Kemi, a hard-working, determined village girl with dreams beyond the countryside. Tunde, a wealthy, mysterious man from the city who visits the village often. Most villagers don't like him, considering him arrogant. Kemi becomes intrigued by Tunde, who is wealthy but withdrawn, and she decides he will be her husband.
Kemi lived in Oko village, a small place where everyone knew each other. She was a hard-working girl in her mid-20s, with a smile that brightened her face as she worked in the fields or helped her family. But Kemi dreamed of more than the simple life of the village. She wanted to see new places, meet new people, and find a future that was bigger than what she knew. One day, a man named Tunde arrived in the village. He came from the city, driving a fancy car, and he wore expensive clothes that made him stand out. The villagers didn't like him much. They thought he acted like he was better than them, and they avoided him whenever he came around. But Kemi saw something different in him. She could see that he wasn't just a rich city man, there was something more to him, a mystery that made her curious. Kemi made up her mind, she would get to know Tunde, and maybe, he could be the one to change her life. She watched him from a distance, wondering how to start a conversation. Then one day, Tunde's car broke down on a dirt road near Kemi's family's farm. He struggled with the engine, frustrated. When Kemi saw her chance, she approached him with a friendly smile. "Do you need help? This car looks like it needs some patience," she said. Tunde, surprised, looked up at her. "It seems I have no choice." "Thank you," he replied. Kemi helped him, and they talked as they worked together. Tunde seemed guarded, but he thanked her genuinely before driving away. It was a small start, but it made Kemi hopeful. As the days went by, Kemi and Tunde crossed paths more often. They would walk together through the village, sharing stories about their lives. Kemi talked about her dreams and the beauty of the village, while Tunde opened up a little about his life in the city. He told her how he had been hurt before, by people who only wanted to be close to him for his money. Kemi listened, and she said, "You don't have to trust everyone, Tunde. But not everyone is like that." Her words made Tunde pause, and for the first time in a long while, he thought that maybe, just maybe, he could let someone in. But not everyone in the village was happy about their growing friendship. Segun, a young man who had always liked Kemi, grew jealous. He couldn't understand why she was spending time with Tunde instead of someone from the village, like him. Anger burned inside him, and he decided to take action. Segun began spreading rumors. He told the villagers that Kemi was only interested in Tunde's money, and that she was pretending to like him. The villagers, who already didn't like Tunde, were quick to believe the gossip. Soon, people started whispering behind Kemi's back and avoiding her. One day, Tunde heard the rumors. He confronted Kemi, his voice cold and his face tense. "Is it true, Kemi? Are you only with me because of my money? Just like the others?" he asked. Kemi felt like her heart was breaking. She had thought he was starting to trust her. "How could you think that, Tunde? I've never wanted anything from you but your friendship," she replied, her voice trembling. Hurt and angry, she turned and walked away, leaving Tunde standing alone, confused and uncertain. For days, Kemi stayed away from Tunde, and Tunde wrestled with his doubts. But then, one afternoon, he overheard Segun bragging to a group of villagers. Segun laughed as he told them how he had spread lies about Kemi, turning everyone against her. Tunde's face flushed with anger. He confronted Segun right there in front of the villagers. "You've been lying about Kemi all this time," Tunde shouted. "She's done nothing but show me kindness, and you've tried to ruin her." The villagers realized their mistake, looking ashamed of how easily they had believed the lies. Segun, caught, could only hang his head. Tunde went to find Kemi by the river, a place where she often went to be alone. She was sitting on a rock, staring at the water, when he walked up to her. "Kemi, I'm sorry," he said softly. "I should have trusted you. You've shown me what real honesty looks like, and I was too afraid to believe it. But now I know I can't let you go." Kemi looked at him, tears shining in her eyes. "I wanted you to see me for who I am, Tunde. Not for what others say about me," she said. Tunde knelt down in front of her and took her hands. "Will you stay with me, Kemi? Not for what I have, but because of what we can build together." Kemi smiled, her heart full of relief and joy. "Yes, Tunde. I'll stay with you. Let's face the future, together." They returned to the village, hand in hand, and the villagers welcomed them this time, realizing how wrong they had been. Segun kept to himself, and no one listened to him anymore. Kemi and Tunde planned their future together, and their love grew stronger with each passing day. Tunde learned to open his heart again, and Kemi found the adventure she had always dreamed of, right there with him. And in the end, they both discovered that sometimes, the greatest love stories start when you least expect them. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more stories.